don't have money in your life will be extremely limited. You will be limited in so many areas of your life. The things you want to do, the good you want to do, the projects you want to execute, you will not be able to do them. Why? Because you are limited. Good morning, everyone. So this is our much anticipated wealth building masterclass. And in this class today, what we will be doing today is we will be laying a foundation for every of our wealth classes from now onwards. Okay, so we won't be discussing every single thing that has to do with building wealth in this class. What we are laying today is the foundational principles behind building solid wealth for yourself, for your family, for your generation. This is the reason why we are doing this today. So if you want to build a solid building, a high-rise building, a skyscraper, the first thing you have to do is to lay a solid foundation. So today we want to build and establish that foundation that will enable us to build from here going forward. Okay? So first things that we need to know, like we said, this is our wealth building masterclass. We will start with the foundation, the foundational principles of building wealth. Okay, so we are starting with the foundational principles of building wealth. Before we start, let me give you a background. Growing up, I was a very hardworking kid. I was the guy that would go around the neighborhood fixing things for elderly people, for our neighbors, fixing electrical wiring, switches, lots of things. So this enabled me to grow up doing lots of different things. So when I went to the university back then in Nsukka, okay, University of Nigeria in Nsukka, I started, doing wirings, fixing electrical things for people and all that. From there, I learned about the internet. From the internet, I started doing, building websites, creating content, doing email marketing, sales, different areas of using the internet to make money. Straight to the point. I was able to make my first 20 million at a very early age, my early 20s. Now, when I made this 20 million, because I have already learned something about the rich and the poor from one of Robert Kiyosaki's work, The Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a book I read as a 12-year-old kid. Now, when I learned something about building, being rich from that book, I implemented those principles moving forward when I was 24, 25, that I made my first 20 million. What happened was that I started investing that money. I invested in real estate around Nsukka. If you know Nsukka very well, you know where we call Hilltop, barracks, prisons, all those areas. I was buying landed properties and all that. So now, over the years, these properties, some of them matured, and then I sold them, made a lot of money. Sometimes I made 5 times, 10 times how much I bought those properties. And I was a young guy who was doing well. I buy the most expensive perfumes, I buy the most expensive watches. In fact, all the watches I buy them from the US, they ship it down to Nigeria. So I was living large per se, But then I came down to Enugu, I was buying cars, buying properties, house, all those things. And anyone who sees me around will say, oh, this guy is rich, this guy is balling. But I wasn't wealthy. I didn't understand this thing I'm about to teach you today. And if I had understood this on time, I know that I would have, probably today I would be worth several billions, But that is by the way. So now, what happened was that some years down the line, I went broke. So when I went broke, in that state of mind, I was thinking about what I did wrong, what happened, why I after all the money I've made all through my 20s, why am I in this state in my 30s having these financial challenges? So I was asking myself these questions. I was trying to understand what was the reason behind this. In the course of this, I started learning and meeting very wealthy people. The people I met were people even in their 20s who are doing well, and people in their 90s. So you can see that the age difference is very broad. I had friends who are, I still have them, I have friends who are in their 20s doing exceptionally well, who are consistently building wealth using the principles I'll teach you today. And I have friends who are in their 90s who have accumulated wealth. They are multi-billionaires doing exceptionally well. So I met all of them. I was learning from them as a humble student. I went to them. I didn't want to know anything. Each one of them, when I meet them, I ask questions. I want to understand the methodologies, the ideas they have, the principles, how they think about wealth building. Remember, I read a book about how the rich and the poor teach their children about money and wealth. But I was a rich guy. I wasn't wealthy. So I wanted to learn how wealth works, how to build wealth. So I was meeting these people. I was learning from them. As a humble student, I came to them with total humility to learn, because life has battered me. I mean, if you've been very rich before and then you went down to the gutter, you know how hard that can be. It can be frustrating. It can be depressing. This was me. Okay. Now, from there, I learned these principles. And since I started to apply these principles in my life has completely changed. I can tell you right now, I don't worry about money again. And I do the things I sincerely want to do, things I love to do, knowing that I am building wealth consistently. So if you learn these principles today, I can tell you, I can give you a guarantee, 2 guarantees. 1, you will never be small. Secondly, the second guarantee I can give you if you learn this principle is that you will never have to worry about money again. So when I say you will never be small, that means you will obviously be great. And if I say you will never have to worry about money again, that means that you won't have to, work just because of money. You will be doing things consciously, knowing that you are building wealth. And you will stop stressing about money, wondering about how will you do this, how will you do that, how you already know that you have created a plan to build wealth for yourself. So with this introduction, let's jump into the foundational principles needed to build wealth. We have 3 principles, but I will start with the mindset. The mindset is so important that if I don't give you this thing, if you don't have the proper mindset for building wealth, what happens is that you start building, and at some point you will destroy the building again and start afresh. That is why your mindset is very important. It's critically important. If you get the mindset behind building wealth, then 20, 30, 50 years down the line, you will be rock solid, confident in yourself, knowing that you know exactly how to build wealth and you are building this wealth for yourself, and you will never have to worry about money again. Now, the first mindset I want you to understand about money and wealth building is that money is a tool. What do I mean? Money doesn't make you a good person or a bad person. If you come from a home such as mine and so many other people's homes, our parents do tell us that money is not everything, that money is not important. I can tell you that statement is wrong. Money is critically important. After God, right, who is our maker, and after the relationships you have with people, the third most important thing in your life and my life is money. If you understand this thing, then you will start giving money the value it requires. Not to worship money, not to put money above everything, but you understand that money is an important thing that allows you to do a lot of things in your life. Money in itself has no value, but what money can do for you is to make who you are or the person you are to be multiplied exponentially. If you are a good person and you have money, you will do more good, correct? And if you are a terrible person, that money will help you to become a worse version of yourself. That is what money is. Money is a tool that can enable you to do a lot of things. And can I tell you something? If you don't have money in your life, your life will be extremely limited. You will be limited in so many areas of your life. The things you want to do, the good you want to do, the projects you want to execute, you will not be able to do them. Why? Because you are limited. This is one of the reasons why you need money. It's so important. You can't, like one of my mentors will say, you can't fulfill destiny if you don't have money. It's almost impossible. So that is the first mindset I want you to have. The mindset shift about money. Money is a tool. Understand this, and then you will know how important you need it as a tool to do a lot of things. Secondly, the mindset you need for building wealth is this. Understand that money is a servant. It can be either a wonderful servant or a bad servant to you. If you understand that you can use money to get things done, money can do a lot of things for you. That project you want to execute, you can send money as a servant. Money, go there, get these people for me so they can do this and that for me. Money is a servant. And if you learn how to make money your servant, money will change your life in a wonderful way. But if you don't learn how to make money your servant, money will use you as its servant and then drive you into things you would ordinarily not do. This is one of the second principle you need to understand. The second mindset shift about money. Money is a wonderful servant. But if you don't know how to control money to be your servant, you will become a servant to money, and money becomes your master. And when money becomes your master, you will do a lot of terrible things, because anything you are doing, you will kill just because of your master, money. You will do a lot of horrible things just because of your master, money. So these are the two mindsets I want you to understand. And then I can add this, the third one. The mindset that you have to, the third mindset you have to have about building wealth and about money is this. The third mindset is that money in itself, money as money, if you keep it in the bank, if you keep it somewhere, can never do anything for you. Now, what am I trying to say? If you accumulate money and hide it in your house, like we have some people in this country put money in houses, lock them up, that money is not doing anything for you. It's not working for you. It's in fact depreciating and losing value just because you kept it there. But the most important thing you can do with money is to send money out there and have it multiply for you. What do I mean? If you have money sitting in your bank account right now, your bank is probably giving you 0.01% interest rate, and it's depreciating every day sitting in your bank account. Now, if you take that same money and put it in a high yielding account, high yielding interest account like we have on Harvest, that money starts working for you. That money starts multiplying. This is one thing you need to understand. If you keep money on its own, sitting somewhere, it can never do much for you. You need to have money working for you. Any money you have, I want you to understand that you can send it out as an army or a slave for you working, bringing in more of its kind, bringing in more money for you. So with this, let's go to the steps required to build wealth. We've already covered in this few minutes, we've covered the mindset needed for you to have in order to really build wealth. So let's go to the steps needed to build wealth. So the first step needed to build wealth is, we've talked about the mindset. The mindset is the first, right? So we've covered the mindset. Now, the mindset is something that you need, like the engine of your car. Now let's start with the steps. The first step to making money, steps to building wealth, is number one step, okay? You have to learn how to make money. I won't cover that in this class today because it's out of the scope of what we are teaching. But the first step you need to learn about creating wealth is you have to learn how to make money. Make money. This is number one step. This can be through a job. This can be through a business. This can be through some side gigs. This can be through any way. But the scope of our class isn't covering this today. Making money is very important if you want to build wealth, right? You need to ensure that you have a solid way of making money. You cannot build from nothing. If you want to build a house, of course, you need to find sand, blocks, cement, and all those things. In your quest for building wealth, this is your sand, this is your cement, this is your block, this is the pillars that you need. Making money is the first one. You have to make money. If you cannot make money, there is no money you can save, which is step number 2. And if you cannot save money, you cannot invest. Okay? So this is step number 1. Make money. You have to learn how to make money. You have to upgrade your skills. You have to learn a lot of things. You have to do your business better. You have to get a job that pays you and allows you to save something at the end of the month. You have to get side gigs if you have a job, and you have to just make this money. I will teach more about making money in the future, but today we are focusing on the foundational principles of building wealth. We will dissect this one after the other down the line. So this is step number 1. Number 2, you have to learn how to save money. Saving money requires discipline. So number 2, save money. You have to learn how to save money. Saving money is very, very necessary. Even if you don't know how to save money, can I give you a suggestion? If you are in your 20s, learn how to save at least 10% of everything you make in a month. At least 10%. If you are in your 30s, upgrade it to at least 15%. I know why I'm telling you. We will discuss this in depth down the line. But today, if you are in your 20s, learn to save at least 10%. Barest minimum. The best way to even save this 10% is find a way and save it automatically. Find an application that allows you to save automatically, a platform. We've already developed that with Harvest, so you can just go to harvest.com and do that. But then, by all means, learn how to save money. It's critically important. Now, when you save money in your 20s, in our subsequent teachings, I will tell you how to really multiply that money to the point where you will wonder, is this really this tiny sums of money I've been saving when I was 20? That now in my 40s and in my 50s is this hundreds of millions. I will teach you how. All right? If you follow me and everything I'm going to teach you, I can guarantee you, by the time you're in your 20s, by the time you're in your 40s or your 50s, one day you will look for me and say, Ken, I want to thank you. You changed my life. It's true. I will teach you all this. Now, if you're in your 30s, like I said, at least save 15%. There is a reason. You know, a lot of people say this, that we don't know when we'll die and all that. At the same time, you don't know how long you live. You may end up living to 90. I'm thinking that you die tomorrow, and for that reason, you are not saving any money. That's not wisdom. Okay? So if you are in your 40s, save at least 20% of everything you earn every month. Find a way. I will teach you all that down the line, but by all means, in your 40s, start saving at least 20%. And if you get to your 50s, that's a serious moment of your life. Start saving at least a quarter of everything you earn. That's 25%. So I'm giving you a template for saving. It may start out difficult the first time, but I can guarantee you, if you follow the steps I will teach you down the line, you have to follow the subsequent training and videos I will be creating. So if you follow these steps, I can tell you saving money will not be a challenge for you. So in your 50s, save at least a quarter of everything you make. People in their 60s and 70s, well, we will talk about them sometime down the line, but today we've discussed people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. save money. It's very, very important. Now, the third step, which is where the action. This is where all the great things happen. You need to invest money. This is the point where a lot of people make a lot of mistakes. And on this number 3, which is invest money, okay, we will dwell on this number 3 for many months, if not years. I will teach us a lot of methodologies, strategies, different tricks on how to invest money, and your money will multiply for you. Personally, I've lost tens of millions in investments. All right, so I've lost money in investment. So for that reason, I want to teach you how you can, when you make this money and save this money, how you can preserve it so you don't lose it. Investing correctly. So in this video, we have covered the mindset, which is the engine house that powers every other thing we are doing when it comes to building wealth. And we've talked about making money, and we've talked about saving money and investing money. So when we talk about investment, there are lots of places you can invest money, but I will teach you the best places to invest money and what makes a great investment and what makes a poor investment. Okay, so as we proceed in our classes, I will be sharing with us how we can invest correctly, how we can invest strategically, and how we can invest diligently. All these things, they require some level of discipline. You don't need the discipline of a sage. You don't need the discipline of a monk to be able to invest money, but you need some level of discipline in order for you to invest, save and invest.